Morning, everybody. August 28th, 2026. Been a difficult video to make this morning. I did the morning walk, but it's been a crazy week. It's um, been fighting both WorkSafe and my extended benefits. I wouldn't say fighting the extended benefits, but trying to meet their requirements to apply. 5 months. 5 months. So fortunately, I give them credit. At least they were able to let me drop off paperwork, whereas WorkSafe is, it's odd because in the very first weeks of the injury, they allowed me to drop paperwork at the office, but they would never allow me after that. Something going on there. I did finally get a hold of a lawyer that says, yeah, you can sue WorkSafe, but of course they want a retainer, and my spidey senses go up on that if that. So I'm still on the search. I'm gonna have a look at. They're sending me their package, and I have done this before. So having a retainer on a lawyer is definitely not a bad thing. It's just expensive, but sometimes it's more expensive to not do that. So I'm gonna wait for his package of information to show up, and I'm gonna talk to my accountant who I trust and have her look over the contract and see if it's kosher and what she thinks of these people. She's been doing her job a long time and she knows her stuff. Other than that, we're going to just carry on cleaning up the Yukon, getting it ready. God, I went to the local Chevy dealer again. Man, it's literally a 20-minute drive from my house. So 40-minute drive there and back. I called them on Tuesday. Yeah, they had the part, which is just the block-off gasket for that block-off cooler on these 6.2 GM motors. And I called them, gave them the show of a truck. Yeah, we have the part. Go there, and it's insane construction. It's right by the freeway. I'm like, I couldn't get there. I waited in that line for 45 minutes, and it's only a 20-minute drive here. So I'm like, fine, I'll come back tomorrow. I came home. I called them. I said, listen, I couldn't make it. The traffic is crazy. I'll be there first in the morning. He said, no problem. We'll set it aside for you. I got there the next morning at 10 o'clock. They looked at me like I was an alien. They had no idea what I was talking about, and they had no idea where the part was. They needed the serial number to find the part. And I said, fine, I'll just come back tomorrow. So I went back yesterday with the registration, with the serial number. And I stand at their parts counter, I don't know, not long, 5 or 10 minutes. They're busy doing something. You can see that. And just let them finish their gig. And but they come over and they ask me what I'm looking for and say, look, I want this block off plate gasket for this year of Yukon. And, I called, you have it in stock. And it's supposed to be waiting for me. Okay. And he goes to look it up. He brings back a heater gasket for one of the looked like a I couldn't tell you, but the block off gasket I'm looking for is this big, that square. He brought in a gasket that was like this oval with a little metal circle with a sort of heat. It looked like it was the gasket for the EGR pipe, but at any rate, I just I thanked him for looking, received my registration for my Yukon back from him, and said I've been doing this a very long time and I'm got time for this. If you guys can't find it, then that's not my fault. That's on you. And he wants me to come in the back and look at the computer. I'm like, I'm not your mother. I'm like, sorry, I don't know your computer. And besides, I have double vision. It's not good. I can't look at anything. He doesn't know that. But why is he asking me as the customer to look at his computer? I don't understand. He doesn't know his job well enough to figure it out on his own. Like Chihuahua. So yeah, back to ordering parts online. It's a shame. I prefer to use dealer parts, but the dealer's got his head so far up his butt. I mean, that's 3 trips. So I spent like $45 in fuel and an hour and a half of probably 3 hours of my time going there and back. Yeah. Dealerships have lost their way, man. I swear. And I worked for the dealers for 10 years from 86 to 96. It wasn't like that. Anyway, so I'm right on my old used cars. These new cars are shit, and you guys are getting screwed. They don't even want to talk to you when you show up for parts. That's unbelievable. Yeah, no, and it probably has a lot to do with the amount of stress people are under these days. It is, I think here in Canada we have it a little worse than most places. Maybe the UK and Australia might, but we're being squeezed very, very hard here. We're all for immigration. Everybody here is an immigrant, no problem. But the government is dropping the frickin' ball. Cannot bring in. You can bring in as many people as you want, but do you mind, please, just keeping up with the infrastructure? Right? It'd be great. We had enough schools, hospitals, places for people to go, pools. You're trying to cram 100 people where 20 people used to fit. That's just craziness. Stop it. You're not doing a good job. You can do better. Man, your parents did better. What's wrong with you? Did you get too many participation medals? Jesus Christ, bananas. I'm sorry. I'm just like, it ain't rocket science, folks. You know, they're trying to pit everybody against each other because they're overcrowded and everything. And yeah, it's frustrating. But, I'm not saying they're trying to do anything. I'm just saying that's a consequence. When you crowd people, it doesn't make for a warm and fuzzy feeling. You make for competition. People are now competing for medical assistance. They're competing for just everything, all the resources. There's not enough for everybody. And it's going to take time for all this to catch up. So they're more than willing to throw us all under the bus. Well, because they weren't able to take care of things. And what's with the frickin' national debt? I heard BC presented a budget that's like, insane. Like, I think our $30 million just for dealing with the press, and the press is already bought and paid for, and they don't deal with the real press, which is the independent press. Sorry, if you don't double check both, you're only getting one side of the story, which is crazy. I can't believe our press is bought and paid for that way. I don't trust anything our press has to say. They're good for the weather and the sports, and that's about it. But anything else, you're going to get a one-sided opinion. You're not going to get both sides of any story, which is what we used to get back in the 80s and 90s. Sad state of affairs, but you're going to have to make your way through this hot mess. It ain't going to get any better. You can see the writings on the wall. They're still bringing in hundreds of thousands of people every year. I'm not sure. I hear the numbers are skewed and all over the place. It's not just people coming in. Again, everybody's welcome. But don't you want to live with the good people? Are you okay that they bring in a whole bunch of criminals? And what is with the criminal system is now giving. So if I'm a new person in this country and I rape somebody or kill somebody, I get a reduced sentence because I might get deported. Are you freaking kidding me? Yeah, Canada has lost its mind. Yeah, that sucks. It's just my opinion, but honestly, really, you can get a reduced sentence just because you're new. Um, there's a law in the books that says if a new immigrant commits a serious enough crime, they should be deported. That law's there for a reason, and they're circumventing that. Oh my God! No wonder I don't feel it's safe anymore. It's not. All right, well, keep the eyes in the back of your head. Try to be as normal as possible. Try to give people as much grace and steppage. But beware, there are a whack of criminals here that just don't care. This to them is, they've never seen anything like this, I guess. I was in another country and there was no consequences. Why wouldn't you? You're in a new place. You're trying to make the best you can for your family. Most people will do whatever they have to. I don't blame them. But and if the government's not going to back up the laws, then the laws don't mean anything, right? That sucks. Hmm. I don't even know if I can put this up. I might have to look at it and review it. God, I might have to learn editing. Sorry about that. Oh, glasses. Anyway, it's Friday. It's Crazy Friday. Have a great weekend, folks. Be safe, be cool. Cheers.